Oh, the dollar store Easter aisle, jam-packed with plastic crap destined for the landfill, but not for us. Refashionista rebels don't buy into that mass-produced nonsense. We make magic from what's already hiding in our homes, because style, creativity, and sustainability, they're in our DNA. Let's craft an Easter basket that's actually worth celebrating. And I'm going to prove just how easy it is to create fantastically fabulous Easter baskets from those bits and bobs you already have lying around your house. And pardon my background here, but I am spring cleaning. I have some on-the-go projects. It's just a bit of a mess behind me, but I'll get it cleaned up this week. Fingers crossed, I promise. Anyway, so I have 3 lovely items here to transform, and all of these I literally had just lying around my house. And this, you can see this dusty old fabric container. It was on the bottom of a pile of crap in a closet. This basket clearly had a plant in it at some point. And this here it is a yogurt bucket, you know, with delicious Greek yogurt in it that I finished because it's full of protein, and that's what my perimenopause body desperately needs. So let's go grab the rest of our ingredients, all of them lurking around the house. So let us go past the chair of on-the-go projects there, over to my wonderful storage that I found in the trash and cleaned it up, and then I sanded all of the yucky bits, and I found that I actually liked it. It's very shabby chic, which I know isn't really cool anymore, but I like it. It's in my house, my decision. Okay, so this here I don't even have to open, right? There's no glass or anything here, but I think I'm gonna take my fabric belt stash, and I'm gonna grab my regular belt stash here, and put that over there. And what else is over? I have paints. What else do we have in here? Paint brushes. I know I got, yes, here it is, hiding from my eyes. I got this air dry clay from Dollarama, which is Canada's dollar store, quite a while ago. And it's just been sitting there. And I have an idea to do something on this one with that, but we're still not done. We still gotta go. Let's run over here. Oh, look, there's my Easter decorations in here, so we'll look at those later if you want. And this is a suitcase to put away my winter jackets. But anyway, here we have all of my funky fabrics. And is it in here? Yes, I need this scrappy bag of fabric remnants and bits here. And this is very important because this is what I'm going to use to cover this. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. So let's just start. Right. I think this one's going to be the easiest. So I'm going to save that one for last. And this one is actually going to be maybe the most time consuming because it's really picky, but this one I'm going to combine with the air dry clay. So let's do this one first because the clay is going to have to dry. I went through all of my belts and I found so many that would look lovely with this basket. But what I want to do is kind of run it through, because this is just a woven basket. So I should be able to force the belt through there, through the little spaces, and then have it like, look at that. Voila, there is an adorable handle. And I'm probably going to have to glue these 2 sides together, but I don't care. I'm never going to wear this belt, and I'd much rather have it as an adorable Easter basket handle. So let's do that. And I have to find exactly where I can put it through, because now that I'm looking, okay, there's a nice big space, but directly on the other side is no space. So I'm going to do this, and then we're going to come back, because this might take a while. So the belt is through, and it looks pretty darn awesome, if I do say so myself. This is really looking quite boho and aesthetic, I think. So now, I mean, it's standing up, right? It's standing up, but I think if I glue here and here on the other side, it's going to stand up nicer. And of course, I don't want this to kind of flippy flop out. So let's do that. And we have to make sure the buckle stays in the center. So Skelly has decided to join us here. And he's being very loud and very destructive, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, so my idea for this, how gorgeous does that look so far with the lovely belt handle, and it's very sturdy, it's not going anywhere, but really, what's it gonna hold, a bunch of chocolates? Okay, sir. All right, so I wanted to remake this. I made this like before I had my blog even. I made this in like 2009 or 10. That's a long time. And you can see it's just like clay. I just, you know, stuck some clay on. I'm not the most artistic drawer in the world or sculptor, but I think it came out pretty darn cute, if I do say so myself. And it's lasted for what, like 15 or 16 years, including international moves. So definitely a good job on this. But you see, super simple to make that. The clay that I got, oh, here it is. I messed up with the clay that I got, and this is not air dry clay like I thought it was. This is the stuff from my 80s childhood. So maybe little Sheri in here was saying, yeah, get that. Anyway, so this is like oil-based, and it doesn't ever dry, which is not a good thing, so I can't use it to do this. So we're going to pivot now and go look in my stash, and I think we're going to make this into a cool, maybe flowery, boho type of basket now. Okay, here's that good boy. Let us grab, I think this one here has all of my lacy doilies and bits like that. So we're going to put that over here. That'll come in useful. And I'm moving Skelly's little bed here and coming over here. Aha, I think in this I have a whole bunch of faux flowers. So let's get this out. I have totally forgotten what I even put in this big plastic bin here, but I know faux flowers. So we're going to take that. But I was looking at, what is this adorable little basket? And look, it has a bunch of little toys and glow-in-the-dark stones and gems in it. Okay, I got to remember what's in here now. Oh, moss and a bunch of plastic gold ribbony stuff. Okay, gotcha. I might have to start labeling stuff because my stash is getting out of hand. Okay, I seriously haven't looked in these flowers for quite some time. These are the ones that I actually used, all of these petals, on the sleeves of my faux flower jacket, and there's still some little flowers in here left over. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, of course I have it right here. This is what I'm talking about. Look at that. There's the sleeves, and isn't it just absolutely gorgeous? I made this a few years ago, and it is absolutely awesome. And of course, it appears in my Upcycled Outerwear book, so I'll link that down below for you, but it is just stunning. I love wearing this in the springtime, and it is totally holding up. It's amazing. I just give it a light hand wash whenever it needs it. Definitely doesn't go in the washing machine, but wowza, it is still beautiful. I apologize. I'm getting sidetracked. Do you ever do that? You start going through your stash or your closet and you just remember things and you just go off and lose track of what you were actually doing. But anyway, I'm sure everybody does that. If you do, please let me know down below so I don't feel so alone. Anyway, so what I was thinking, because this is so adorable, right, is maybe just put some faux flowers here. I mean, it's going to be kind of tacky boho, but that's fine because I really like that, that look. And it's for Easter, so we have to go a little bit over the top sometimes for Easter. I have an awful lot of these white daisies because daisy is my favorite flower, and I'm positive other people love daisies too. So, you know, let me know your favorite flower down below, and maybe I have heard of it and maybe I haven't, because there's lots of cool flowers in the world from all over the world that we don't know what the heck they are in North America. Anyway, I think with the pink and the white and the leather of the belt, and of course there's some yellow in this that matches the belt, let's do something like that. But now we need some lace maybe to go around the middle part. And, oh my goodness, I just remembered, again, this is something else that I have had for decades now, I guess. Well, over a decade, maybe not decades, but that's kind of pretty, don't you think? This was the collar of a shirt that I refashioned years ago. Maybe it's too much though with the flowers. Yeah, that might be a bit too much. Okay, I'm gonna look through my lace and find something else. Right, so I decided not to use any of those bits of lace and doily, and instead I grabbed my little box of vintage trim and I found these two. How perfect are those? This is the very last bit of this trim that I have. I used it to upcycle, refashion, and mend a vintage playsuit, and I also used it on my upcycled vintage tablecloth wrap top. And yeah, this is the last bit I have, and you know what? It actually is just enough to fit, I think, all the way around. Look at that. Yes, look, those two flowers are just touching there. So that would actually work to go all the way around. But this one, it keeps the baskets grabbing this one though. So this I have enough to go from one side of the belt there where the belt starts, and I would end right here where the other side of the belt is. So it would just be on the front. I really don't know. I don't know. I think this and this maybe go together more, but this is so super cutie patootie, isn't it? And then with the flowers, I'm not sure. Let's do pull. Right, so I decided because I have enough left of this to possibly finish off another neckline or maybe a single sleeve, I don't know, but it's enough to add detail to a garment. So I'm going to keep this one for now, and I'm going to go with this one because this isn't going to do anything. All it can be is a bit of detail, and I think it's perfect for being detail on this cute little boho basket. So you can see I have already prepared some flowers. I'm not going to use all of these. We want this to be cute tacky boho, not just tacky boho. And I just wanted to share this with you because I always find this hilarious. I can age my stash by what bag it is stored in. And because this is an Allzweck Gefriere Beutel, which is like you can use it for everything, freezer bag from Germany. I know that I've had these items for well over a decade, and yeah, I don't know what I used these for. Actually, I do not remember. I'm sure if I went through my blog, I could probably find the exact tutorial. Actually, I'm lying. I do now remember, now that I'm holding them in my hand. I made some faux flower jewelry out of these, and the tutorial's probably on my channel. If it is, I shall link it down below for you, and you can see super young Sheri gluing stuff to other stuff again, instead of now you have, you know, middle-aged Sheri gluing stuff to stuff. Anyway, I don't think this is actually going to go with anything there, so we can put our Allzweck Gefriere Beutel away. And let's actually get working on this because this video is going to be super long. I think I just want to put the flowers kind of in the corner, right? Just glue them so they're look like they're kind of growing out of the belt there. So yeah, I'm going to go glue them on and then hopefully we're going to be done. And the first adorable basket is done. And I think, you know, even though we totally had to pivot because I bought the wrong clay, my fault, terribly sorry, we will eventually make one of those funky faux shop little baskets, but it's not going to be today. But anyway, even with the pivot, this came out too cute. And I think that's the perfect amount of faux flowers on there. So you know what? Let's move on to the next one. We're going to be doing a lot of hot gluing today. I see that in our future. Next, we're going to transform the yogurt bucket. And for this, you just need a whole bunch of scraps and your hot glue gun. And of course, like a pair of scissors to cut the scraps. And all you have to do is cut up a whole bunch of long strips of scraps. So I am going to go and do that. And then we're going to cover this whole thing in a very cool and creative way. And you'll never know it started life as a yogurt bucket. I have an awesome pile of brightly colored fabric strips here, and I'll just show you how I create mine. It is so super simple. You just grab your piece of fabric, chop a little bit there, and make sure you're pulling on the grain. Oh, look at that perfect strip. And it is so satisfying. This is such a wonderful way to get out any anger, if you have any anger, or just feel powerful like you are She-Hulk. I have a strip, I have my yogurt bucket, and I have my hot glue gun ready to go. And this is so easy. It's just a bit time consuming. So grab your tablet, put on your favorite series, or put your headphones in and, you know, listen to your fave tunes while you do this. So as you saw, I just twisted up the end part of my fabric, and I am just going to put a bloop of glue there to start it and stick the end down. Also, where did I put it? I have my wonderful tool here, which is just a popsicle stick. And that holds it down for me so I do not have to burn my fingers, because this is a lot of gluing and you know, your little fingertippies get quite sore after a while. I also have been known to use an old end of a wooden spoon to do this as well, but you can use whatever the heck you want. But again, you don't need a fancy tool to stick your stuff down. Okay, and then we're just gonna keep going and putting down some glue and sticking our twisted fabric just like that. And then we're going to twist the fabric up a little bit more. Sorry, I have to reload. Okay, reload it. And I'm just going to put some more glue here. This does not have to be neat and tidy whatsoever, because we're going to be putting on a whole bunch of these strips, and it will cover up any glue bloopies that are there. And again, this does not matter if the fabric is fraying, if there's threads, it doesn't matter. If you want to pull the threads off because it's not your aesthetic, go right ahead. I don't really, because I think it looks kind of cool when there's fraying edges. All right, so I think you get the gist of this. Very, very easy. And I'm just going to keep going and layering until I reach the bottom. And of course, you want to be using a bunch of different colors of fabric. It just looks super duper fun and circusy, and you know, we're doing this for fun baskets and Easter, and I mean storage even if you want, right? So just do whatever works for your aesthetic. This also looks really cool with like burlap or rope. That's another video I shall make for you in the future. But again, you let me know if you want to see that, how to upcycle storage bins and boxes and everything using, again, just stuff you have around your house. La la! And how totally adorable did that come out? It's much heavier and sturdier than it was, that's for sure. And I just glued some pom-poms all around the inside edge, but I think that is a stellar Easter basket. Now let's move on to our final project. And last but not least, we have this fabulous little felt storage container that, as I said, I just found stuffed in the bottom of the linen closet. So this one, I actually originally thought, oh, I'll do the whole belt idea, but then I ended up doing that on the wicker basket. But then remember I mentioned in the last one, hey, you can use, if you have rope lying around, I just so happen to have a jar full of crafty rope bits and bobs. And I think a couple of these are actually like curtain ties that I will never use as curtain ties. But I thought, how cool would this be if we went kind of nautical with this one? And because this is actually really thick felt, I don't think it will fray, and I should just be able to put like a couple of little holes in to create the area to put the handles. So let's do that. So I think I just want to do a couple of rope handles on the sides here, one on each side. That might be kind of cool. Or I could, now that I'm looking at this, I could maybe weave this in and out. Would that look neat? That might look neat, right? If I put holes evenly spaced all around and then kind of wove that. No, you know what? I'm going too far again. I'm going too far. Let's just stick some handles on this and then we'll go from there. So I think I have this about centered. I'm just going to eyeball things as I usually do. And let's put a little slit here. Okay, I don't want it to be too big, but there, that's probably good enough there. And we put another one here. I think that's about even, right? Yes, that looks grand. And then I just have to put my rope through here. And I'm just gonna knot this end and then do the same thing here. And my lovely rope style nautical-esque basket is complete and it looks pretty awesome. And because I went around the bottom and the top and just hot glued some more rope around there, it's a lot sturdier than it was. It gave it, you know, a little bit more structure, which is wonderful. And now I think it is definitely time to go and display these in preparation for the Easter Bunny's visit. And here's my absolutely gorgeously stunning Easter hat wreath thing that I made out of a hat I found in the garbage and bath pops and some other bits and bobs. And now it's just a really cute thing that I can hang anywhere I'd like. And I actually shared this tutorial, I believe, in last year's Easter tutorial roundup. And here's just some more lovely little Easter decorations on the shelf above. Da, 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 da. The fabulous Easter baskets that we just upcycled today. And they are sitting on the gorgeous vintage treasure chest, waiting for the Easter Bunny to fill them. I am very curious to know if there's any other Gen X's or elder millennials out there who had one of these OsterBaums in their childhood or Easter trees. This is clearly from the German side of the family, and it is very, very vintage because this was made in West Germany. So this was created before the wall came down. So you know, it was probably sometime in the 70s, and it is just a little cardboard tree here that you slide together, and then we put on this layer. And that is what it looks like when it is all together. And of course we got to put some eggs on it, right? And this is what it looks like with some lovely eggs on it. And believe it or not, these are not real eggs. And if you look close, yeah, definitely they're not real eggs. These are the ones that we decorated quite a few years ago, and we use these ones to hide every year, because if we forget one or we miss one, there's no chance that it's going to go rotten and stink, because they are made of, whoops, plastic. And yeah, you see, that's not broken. It's not broken. That was a real egg, it would have cracked. However you are going to be celebrating or not celebrating, I wish you an absolutely egg-tastic Easter long weekend. We're atheists, so for us, Easter is just all about baskets and bunnies and chocolate and all of that stuff. But absolutely, let me know down below what you're going to be doing this long weekend, even if it's just keeping yourself to yourself and chilling out on the sofa with a good book. I want to know about it. Let me know. And if you were with me last year for my Easter video, you may remember that it kind of ruffled some feathers, and Frau Inge responded in her oh so wonderful way. So I think, you know what, we should revisit Frau Inge's response video and enjoy. Grab a cup of tea right now. Enjoy Frau Inge's little speech that she's going to give. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch ya on the zig-zag. Take it away, Frau Inge. Hallo, mein Name ist Frau Ingeborg und I am the producer und director for Refashionista Sheri. Now, I haven't seen you in a while, so I hope you are doing fine. And of course, it is an unfortunate situation that I must be here again because it is for troll time, right? So today's troll is a little bit lengthy, and this actually came as an email, not as a comment on a post on social media or on the YouTube, but as an email. So I think it's a little bit more personal that way, don't you think so? So yeah, this is in response to Sheri's Easter DIY upcycle video, and the little cute message she had at the end of the video in particular. But this person, they've called it a remark on Easter podcast. And now, throughout this email, this person is calling Sheri's channel and videos a podcast. So first, I just want to clarify, podcast is audio. Podcast is in your ear. It's like a different version of a radio. Yeah? What Sheri is doing on her channel, that is video, not podcast. That is video. Okay. So, let's just start here. Okay. Remark on Easter podcast. Dear Refashionista Sheri, I love your podcasts, and I want to try some of the refashioning techniques once I get the courage and time to try them. Also, your mending tips for letting out and updating clothes is very useful, creative, and money-saving too. Okay, so far it's okay. Yeah, it's okay so far. Just wait. I do have a suggestion to make. On your recent Easter podcast comment about zombie Jesus and the little cartoon of Christ on the cross that popped up along with it that I found offensive. There are probably other viewers that probably wouldn't have enjoyed that comment either. I respect your right to not believe or to believe differently, and I simply ask that you wouldn't make snide remarks about the Christian faith like the zombie Jesus, etc. This is up to you, of course, and I probably still will watch your podcasts because I really enjoy them and your creativity. Thanks. Okay, I'm having kind of a hard time not laughing right now because this is so typical of religious people, right? It is so hypocritical, and they just can't see past their own nose on their own face, yeah? But just to show you what she is so offended by. Let's play the clip. However you are celebrating Easter or not celebrating it, I hope you have an absolutely fabulous weekend. Now, we're atheists, so Easter for us is just like bunnies and eggs and chocolate and, you know, all the fun bits. But if you're religious and you're doing your whole zombie Jesus thing, have fun with it and do not judge other people if they don't, you know, follow your way of thinking, because there's tons of us that don't, and we still enjoy the holiday. And with that said, I wish you a wonderful, wonderful weekend once again. Okay, so as you can see, there's nothing wrong with that. And Refashionista Sheri was simply saying, hey, please don't be judgy, right? And she made a little funny clip to go along with it. No problem at all. By the way, did you know Sheri doesn't make this little cartoon Jesus? That is from a massive collection on Canva. There's many, many, many of them. Also, to be so offended by zombie Jesus, I don't know what to tell you. It's a fact. You're saying that he was killed. He then is put in a cave. The cave is sealed. The people go there 3 days and he is alive again. I mean, he's gone, whatever. But so it is in fact, he is a zombie then, yeah? That is the definition of a zombie. There are many, many shows. There are many, many movies all about it. If you are unsure what a zombie is, I suggest you go look it up yourself. It's not difficult to find. These type of comments Sheri gets all the time, yeah? And she's an atheist. She doesn't care. She's also a Gen X, which really makes her not care at all. The fact that is so offensive for myself and for Refashionista Sheri about this is someone who is thinking they are being very, very kind, yeah? Oh, I am loving what you do, even though they don't know the name video and use totally wrong name podcast. But it's okay, it is video, it's not podcast. Anyway, so they are being so complimentary at the start, and then they are basically saying not so nice things, and it's very, very strange. This is a stranger who is writing to Refashionista Sheri's email, yeah? And writing this kind of thing, like, oh, you can do this, but I don't like it, and maybe the other people, they don't like it. You know what? Don't watch it then. It's so simple. What you want is for Refashionista Sheri to give you all the free tutorials, yeah? And nothing else. That is all. And you can go on your merry, merry way. If you do the tutorial, great. If you just like watching it, I don't care. But Refashionista Sheri is a person. And her channel is like her home. And she can put there whatever she wants. There's nothing offensive at all on her channel. What is offensive is pushing your personal belief system onto someone else. What Sheri shared on Easter was some very, very fun and easy upcycles to decorate your home and to wear for Easter. She then said, hey, please, people who are religious, please don't be judgy for people who are not. And what do? You are judging. You sent an email to judge her and tell her what she can and cannot do. Yeah? Even though you say, oh, you can do what you want, but I just give you some advice. You know, my advice for you is maybe stop being so involved in other people's lives. Stop, your religion in particular, stop telling women what they can do with their bodies. Yeah? Stop telling anyone what they can do. Stop being racist. Stop being homophobic. Stop using your Bible, your silly little book, which is just full of horror stories, to be honest, yeah? Yeah? Stop using your silly book to try to control the lives of others. You say, oh, you respect people believe they don't believe. You don't respect that at all. And your email is proving that. You are a hypocrite like every single other religious type of person. Why is it that Sheri has people coming and knock on her door to try to tell her about their religions? That's not okay.
That's not okay. People put things in the mailboxes here about try to convert to their religion. That's not okay. This is our personal space. We live here, yeah? What about you wait at the bus stop and the people come and try to convert you to their religion? This is bizarre behavior. This is crazy. This is not normal. It is not normal. And because Sheri did live in other countries, she knows this kind of thing doesn't happen in other places. And quite frankly, in other countries, it is illegal to do these type of things. So I am very, very concerned about why is it, in particular in North America, that it is perfectly acceptable to go around screaming and yelling on the street horrible things, terrible things, holding up signs because you don't believe in abortion and holding up signs of that medical things that have nothing to do with it, but you do not have a brain in your head, so you take a picture from the internet, put it on and say, yes, this is what it looks like. That is not. Okay? You have opened up an entire can of worms here with this email. And I suggest you keep your religion to yourself. If you truly respect what other people believe or don't believe, then you know what? Do that. Respect it. Whatever Sheri wants to say on her channel, and what she said is not bad at all. And poor putting a little cartoon, who cares? Who cares? Yeah? You could stay in your own little world, in your own little echo chamber, and be happy there. You don't need to go out into the world. But I suggest you do, because there are many, many wonderful, wonderful things that you can see in the world and experience when you stop and take off those blinders, yeah? You don't have to follow all of these silly rules, yeah? Especially when so many of them are made by men a few thousand years ago. That makes no sense. They knew nothing. There was no science. There was no technology. How are you writing an email? Yeah? Also, if you are working on a Sunday, please stop because you can be stoned. That's terrible. I don't know what to say anymore. Yeah? Maybe people will stop having a problem with religion when religion comes into this century and stops trying to control everything. You know, especially in America, other countries, we look and we cannot understand, what are you doing? This is absolute insanity, crazy. How are these people getting in your government who are doing things like speaking in tongues? What is that? This is some very, very, I don't even know. They know they're not doing it. They know it's not real. Yeah? I mean, anybody can do this kind of thing. Putting on a character isn't that difficult, is it? Clearly it's not, because I do it all the time. So I just want you to really think a little bit before you start typing and before you get offended at the stupidest things. Think about what has happened in the world because of your religion. What is continuing to happen in the world. People are dying because of your religion. They are dying. Yeah? Do you understand? I'm getting very upset now. And I think Refashionista Sheri making a cute little video and asking that maybe just enjoy the holiday for the Easter bunnies and everything is okay, yeah? Nobody is dying from a Refashionista Sheri video. So yeah, I have to go now because I have gotten quite heated and I'm going to calm down. And for anyone else who is thinking that this is not a problem, what is going on in the world now, I truly feel sorry for you. And I absolutely hope you can look inside yourself and see that the way you live and the way you think that other people should live and trying to put all of your own backward, strange beliefs unto other people is not right. It is not okay. Go out in the world and see there is so much more beauty in the world when you get rid of all of this crap from your brain. Okay. Thank you.
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.